Plus I duck under covers, gotta stay on this mission. Got a vision that's endless, they told me don't be a menace. They gon' serve me a sentence, but now I'm up in it. The illest that did it, get the cream look, drop it in it. Give about opinions, I'm just minding my business. If I'm grinding, I'm shining, don't got time for the gimmicks. I'm it, squad, 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 I'm it, squad.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams who are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Saints going up against the Vikings. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and partner, training camp over, preseason over. It's time for week one.
And how much fun is that? No longer do we have to talk about who's going to make the team. The rosters are set. These guys now get to go out and play for real. No more of these preseason games. Now they're playing, and the records count.
Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway on a Monday night. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. The former Oklahoma Sooner will be leading the charge in his 8th season now under center Sam Bradford.
I know he doesn't move around the same way as he did as a youngster because of all the knee injuries, but he's always been a natural athlete. Coming out of high school, a lot of people thought he could play Division I college basketball. Other people have told me no matter what the sport, if he's never played it before, he'll pick it up and be proficient right out of the gate. The kind of guy that absolutely drives you crazy, even if he's your friend.
I was just going to say, beat you at ping pong, beat you at foosball, beat you at golf. Yeah, drives you crazy. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play. Be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Last year, New Orleans dead last, number 32 in passing defense. Something that was exploited game after game. You know, though, those guys are tired of hearing about it. Now they just want to fix it.
And you fix it with players playing better. We know that. But also you fix it with scheme. You look at what you have and say, can we play the style that we played in 2016? And you and I both know the New Orleans defensive staff. They like to be aggressive. They like to get after the quarterback, put their guys a lot of man coverage. Maybe we'll play a little more zone in 2017. Take some of the pressure off of the back end of the defense.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Bradford. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Let's talk a little bit about safety Kenny Vaccaro. You can use him like the ultimate chess piece. Drop him in the box as a safety, turn him into a linebacker. Drop him back into coverage. He can play zone and also match up man-to-man against slot receivers, running backs, and tight ends.
Saints love that flexibility. He's been with them since coming into the league as a first-round pick in 2013. Bradford from the gun on 3rd down. And that is was intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
His numbers sometimes are just absolutely staggering because last year threw for the 4th highest total in NFL history, 5,208 yards. Okay, now if you look in the record books, here's the number that he occupies in single-season passing. 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 11th best single seasons in NFL history. That's crazy.
Yeah, you said staggering when you started talking, and I'm going to finish it with staggering. What a career it's been, and it continues for Mr. Brees. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
Quarterback Drew Brees and head coach Sean Payton understand the passing game as well as anyone in the NFL, which led to a rating last year of #1 in passing and #1 in total overall offense. But the thing that they really do well is get the ball downfield. They understand holes in defenses, find receivers that way. But what they need to add, the running game, back to their mix. When they went to the Super Bowl and won it, they were #6 in the NFL. Last season, #16.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Pretty bizarre for AP. Plays the first 10 years of his career with the Vikings. He leaves for New Orleans, and his first game is, boom, right here in Minnesota.
You think maybe he was headed to the home locker room when he got off the bus?
Got a little confused.
But I know one thing. He's going to be motivated for this one.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Minnesota head coach Mike Zimmer made his reputation as a defensive coordinator in this league, and that did not change in 2016. His team finished 3rd overall in total defense, and despite many injuries, kept his team in the playoff hunt throughout the season.
Now Brees on 3rd down. He goes underneath to Ingram. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
You and I both know that you don't really, truly replace Adrian Peterson, but Latavius Murray's a really good back. Similar running styles, too. Won't wear the same number, we know that. But when you see him run, you might see a little bit of that in him, upright with some power.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And he stopped immediately there. So we played a quarter here on the opening Monday night of the new season. 0-0 our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. Now it's Ginn.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Peterson gets the handoff from Breeze. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But one thing you can never accuse Ted Ginn of is not doing his homework. He said that Drew Brees playing with him, that's the type of quarterback that can extend your career. Smart move on his part.
That's why he signed with New Orleans, and he's had a good career as it is. A lot of the good years with Carolina, but 11 seasons for Ted Ginn.
And still an amazing deep ball threat. Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
Eluding the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up? Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Again, it's Murray. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. On 3rd down, Bradford. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A nice little juke. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Awfully nice to see Adrian Peterson back and running well. Look, it was just 2015 when he won his last rushing title. Got hurt in 2016, and that season became a bit of a wash.
Yeah, it did become. Hoping to get back to that old form that you're alluding to, though. He does have 3 rushing titles, including that one you mentioned in 2015. Now Breeze on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Hits his target. It's Adrian Peterson. And hello, he's going to be knocked backward, as he'll be marked down at the 33. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, add that play to his resume reel, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Now, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Bradford draw play. He gives to Murray. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half. Bradford is going to float this one deep right into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both the Vikings and the Saints have very low rushing totals. It has not been an effective part of either team's game plan, and you wonder if either side will give a more concerted effort to run it in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Saints have it early in the second. Here's Drew Brees targeting the speedy Ted Ginn, and he'll end up at the 15-yard line before being tackled. Later on the drive, they'd stall out and settle for a field goal. We move late into the second. Peterson's got nobody around him on the catch, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 33-yard line. They would go on to kick a field goal and put 3 points on the board. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
To return it, Alvin Kamara. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Sliding out of the pocket. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop a shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way. Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
On second down, Peterson. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit at the 24-yard line. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Here's Breeze. He finds Coleman. The 13 yards that time at a first. Saints were the best team in the NFL on 3rd down last year. 49% conversion rate. Helps when you have Drew Brees back there.
It certainly does because he is just so analytical in everything he does. Goes through every progression on every snap in practice, so not much surprises him on game day.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well. But they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing is thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. They go play action here on first down. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To throw on third down, Bradford. And he's going to lose. His time is run out on this third quarter of play. One crap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. And Forbath will put this one through, and they are on the board. It's now 9-3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Breeze now. Ginn has it complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They run again on first down. Peterson down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The Vikings didn't lose their first game last year until October 23rd, but things not looking as rosy here as they try to defend a 1st and 10. Bradford. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
2nd down, Bradford. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Bradford. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Von Bell. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They start the drive with Peterson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They run again with Peterson. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They run with Peterson. He's been busy tonight. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And possession will change here with very little time remaining in this contest. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now Bradford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Bradford. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
One last shot now for Bradford. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for New Orleans, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.